Well, since I got time, I'm going to tear into this to see if I can find anything. It's not that bad of a job. So, or as much of a job as I think it probably is. Main goal is, like I say, just to peek in there. Like I say, I probably should pull it up in the yard, but if it's something simple, I can fix it here, we'll do that. If it's something more major, then we'll pull it out of here. But yeah, I guess today I'll take the time to do this because the neighbor's going to wrap hay for me. He's got other stuff going on this weekend. And I basically have today, if I was to mow hay, some hay today, I'd have to bale it today. We got rain, like 80% chance by 2 o'clock tomorrow. So, I mean, it probably would dry pretty good today. The first hay I want to do is kind of on the thin side, so it'd probably dry down enough. But we're not going to take that chance. Like I say, this first hay I got to do, we want to make sure that he'll be able to do it. We're going to play around with a few bales because, like I say, he used to wrap hay all the time. In fact, I can borrow the wrapper from his brother. But, you know, we're trading some of this out for hay that I sold him. And he went and bought his own wrapper. So we're going to trade it out that way. But like I said, he's used to a trailer type. I've watched him just put the tractor in gear and just go around the field. He never touched the clutch. He could drop the bale up on the table, wrap it on the way to his next bale, dump it, pick up the next bale, and like I say, never come to a stop. And this wrapper he's got, it's a 3-point hitch one, runs a little bit different. So like I say, it's one of them things. You got to get used to it before you go hog wild with it. So we might have to make 4 or 5 days baling out of it instead. I mean, it would still take us 2. But I got that third cutting on that hill there. And then I got 15, 16 acres of second cutting to do. So someday this week, like I said, we got rain tomorrow. Chance Monday, which I don't think is going to mount a hill of beans. But all next week looks good in the 50s and 60s, and that's going to be more appropriate weather to wrap hay with, I would think. So we'll work it out what days he thinks he can do it after work, and I'll go put 10 bales or so on the ground, get them baled up here. We can work at it, and then if he thinks he can wrap some more the next day, well, like I say, we'll just work it off. But once I get that done, I'm pretty much done. So like I say, in the meantime, I'm going to work on this, find out why I got a growling noise. I think it's something in here. And to get into here, what I got to do is I got to pull these 4 plates off, which means I had to pull the batteries. There's no big deal. There's 2, 4, 3 bolts here, 1 bolt back there. So there's 7, 8 bolts. Damn bicyclist. Because I got to pull. Yeah, let me go look at the other side. Maybe I don't have to pull this off. I already pulled the one side off. Because I got to get to. Maybe I only have to do one side. Because there's a plate. There's a plate underneath this plate. I got to take this plate off. So I'm going to have to pull the gear shift lever and pull this plate. And then there's another plate underneath. Because your floorboards slide up underneath here. So it's covering the edge of this. And I might, alright, well, I got to pull this off anyhow. And like I said, I'll get some of this dirt cleaned off here so I can pull that up. I'm trying to think. I might have to go dig that book back out. If this cover is just the cover, I don't think anything with the shifting forks is on that plate underneath here. I think that's just a plate to mount that gear shift. And that goes down into your shifting forks. So Like I say, if there's nothing on this plate that deals with the shifting forks, I can pop it up and slide it off to the side a little bit to get it out. If I have to, we'll see. But as I'm working on here now, I definitely got to take these two bolts out and pull that shifting fork. We're going to do that first before we pull this off. Maybe I should have pulled this side. This side might have been easier to pull off. I don't know. But that's what I'm working on here right now. Figuring out how I'm going to get this cover off. And we'll go from there. Piss around with this for a little bit. Yeah, I guess I'm not going to be able to see what I want to see. I'm not going to be able to tear it to where I want to. From what I was reading in the book, and I watched some videos online, it looked like this was two pieces. There ain't no seam here. So this is all cast with the hydraulic unit. What I thought I was seeing was a divided plate. What I could tell is the mounting plate for the gear shift. This piece will come off, but that's only going to allow me to see, I don't know, I'm going to take it off. See if I can reach in there or something. Maybe I can poke around, find something loose. I'm going to look down in the fill hole here for the transmission, see if I can see anything. But yeah, that's the only piece I'm going to be able to get off. I can pull the gear shift out and that plate. And I say, they might have changed it over the years. Like I said, what I was looking at was all the retractors, and I swore the one video I watched, they had this mounted, different size tractor. Maybe it's a bigger one, longer here. They might have done that. I don't know. But I was hoping I could just pull this section off here and be able to look down in there. So we're still going to try to see. I mean, if that's the case, I don't know when I'll be doing anything like that. It's not, yeah, it's a job. If I got to tear into that, nothing will happen until towards spring when I get that back building, cleaned out some of that hay, and have a place I can get this under cover to work on it. And I don't think this ain't all that much. I mean, just pull the bolts, pull the I know I got to pull the PTO shaft. I'm 99% sure of that. And wrap a chain around it and lift it off. But I'm going to tear into that for the moment right now, see if I can see anything else. If not, it'll just have to go back together. Okay, got the gear shift out. And I got this plate off, and I think all this plate is works your safety switch. It engages down in these slots here. I have 99%, I say 98. I have an idea what it is. I don't see no chipped gears or anything. I can't see a whole hell of a lot. But when I turn these gears, you can hear that little bit of a rattle. Well, figure out how to put this videos together, I don't know. But been doing some more looking about that my white. And like I said in whatever clip I've used, I'm pretty much going to have to take the hydraulic pump, the lit rock arms, that whole plate off the back. And as I said, I've looked up some videos. I finally found one on Chris Lucy's channel. He's working on an 1855 at the moment. And like I say, it's basically the same. Now this book covers 270s, 285s, 2105s, and 2150s. Okay, this is your transmission where I was trying to get into on them. A 285, 105, and a 150. This is a transmission on that. This would probably be what's comparable to the 1855 Oliver, because that's a 100 horsepower tractor from what I can figure. Because to get where I was going, this is what I thought. This is what I seen on that video Chris had. That this plate, this is where your gear shift lever goes into. And on these tractors, that whole plate, I knew it looked like on his it was a two-piece plate. That I could just pull that gear shift off, pull this plate up, and then I could get down into them. But after looking here closer, now these are the pictures I was looking at here the other day. This is the 270 transmission. And this is the gear shift lever taken out. It's only that square plate that I took off. So to get down in there, I got to pull that whole top off the back of that tractor. But still, it gets me, I'm still a little confused. I mean, now I took mechanical drafting when I was in high school. You know, just basic stuff. This is pictures, explosive pictures, but I was actually drawing parts. But I understand, and I've seen parts books over the years, I understand how this works. And this is the shaft that I'm thinking has the rattle in it. This is the one that I could see through the fill hole. I was assuming that this is all part of that shaft, but it's not. This shaft and these here is if you have four-wheel drive. This shaft replaces that, and then these are added on for your four-wheel drive. But if you can see, I don't know how well it's coming up, this shows a line that comes up like this. So this shaft stacks into this gear set. Now when I was trying to look in there, I was assuming, I thought there's like two sets of gear rails below this. But this here must be this, where my rattle is. This is the shaft I was trying to spin, I think. Which still doesn't make sense because this looks like the gears I was turning to turn this. So I'm not just sure how these are stacked in here. But this gives me one bearing of concern. So I don't know. Like I say, these are caps where it'd be holding it, the nuts and stuff to tighten this to that back divider. So something in here is what the problem is. See, I'm not sure if this is the shaft I was turning. This one has to be the bottom shaft. It's like number 15 here is the input gear. Well, no, this is probably the bottom shaft. This is probably the one I'm turning. Yeah, because this is probably the one that's going down the center. This is probably the gears I was turning right here to turn these right here. Turning this one. I can't see this part back here. Because if these are your... So this would have to be, if that, like say 15 says input gear 26 teeth. 12 is input gear 19 teeth. So the input would be the ones feeding that gear. Like number 35 is gear 41 teeth. So it depends how these shift around in there, but regardless, the only way I'm going to see anything, I haven't really scanned through this book all that much to see if I can get a better picture. But it's clear after what I've looked at here, the 270, I'm going to have to remove the top of that housing. If I had a 285, yeah, then I can pull that plate where I need to see. So, as of right now, I'm going to have to get it pulled up here. I don't know where I'm going to park it somewhere. Because I'm not going to pull that apart until I get some room in that back building where I'm under a cover at least. Because to get that back off, I'm going to have to use a skid steer to pull it up. I got to do some more looking. There's some things that need done to that tractor, and that might be the time to be doing it too. Like I said, I got wheel seals leaking for the bull gears. That might be the time to be doing that when I got all the oil drained out of it, change all that, clean that out. But again, next thing I'm going to do, or get too much more carried away, is to drain the oil out of that midsection. See if I get any chunks of anything. It's going to have to be, to get a better idea if I see gear teeth or whether I see roller bearings. Get a better idea, but from what I can see in there right now, I don't see no chipped up gears or teeth or anything. And it does have that clang in there, so something's not lining up right. That's why I don't want to try to drive it up here. I mean, to get it up here, I'm going to have to start it, but as long as I keep the clutch pushed in so the transmission's not turning, keep it in neutral, we can pull it up here and be able to steer it. But I guess that's going to be that on that for now. Figure out. Still going to do some more looking. I see if I can find a more detailed picture. Can't find a, I don't think, I guess Chris didn't do nothing with the transmission on that tractor. He's been all working in the, behind it, and the oil pumps and the bull gears and stuff. Same, but I can get, I got some screenshots from that video where I can see the lineup of them gears a little bit better. I got to get that out and compare it to the book to get a little better idea what's going on. But yeah, that left side shaft is definitely where the problem is, as far as I can tell right now. So, but I guess I'm heading town to get some plugs so they don't flood my barn again with them water tanks. So, thanks for watching, and we'll catch up with you later.